And we are live from the Brojo. Yeah, Nate, it's really glad that you didn't know that we weren't actually live because people give me shit for saying that all the time. So it's nice to know that you thought we were live.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just hear a recording and you say we're live every time the recording starts. So
yeah, live
true
right
story.
Now. Yeah, at the time.
I thought you broadcasted your podcast live.
Nah, I wish I did
that. Do that.
I can. It can, but then that's a lot of data on my thing, so...
Oh, that's true.
It is very true.
There'll also be a lot more silence.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. We just, occasionally we have silent spots where we're just, thinking.
Yeah, no, that's very understandable. See, that's why I like editing things, because I can edit that.
I will give you credit. Your editing is very good in that regard, because I don't ever hear the clip change.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. I went to school a little bit for communication, so...
It always sounds seamless.
Thank you. I try my best. Well, I'm Kian.
I'm Eli.
I'm Yandy.
I'm Nate.
And Nate is a valid listener. He's listened...
piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh.
Nate is one of those rare times where someone who actually listens to our shit comes and sits and talks with us.
I mean, anybody else that listens, it's usually not a lot, but you have a few views on every video.
Yeah.
And, I mean, anybody that listens hears my questions almost every fucking podcast.
When we started, we actually had a lot more people listening. It wasn't until we went on a 2-week hiatus because of things that, shit went down hardcore for me.
Right.
Emotionally. Which we'll bring up in our best and worst of 2017. If you guys are all free that time, you can definitely come and talk about your best and worst.
Get lots of Saturdays off. Okay. Saturdays at my job are...
It's usually the best and worst. We'll just do the best and worst 2017 that time. In 2 weeks. So think of your best and worst things in 2017, Eli.
Just in general, or
Kevin
the
Spacey
stuff that we did on this podcast?
In general. I was
gonna say, because, I got a long list of some pretty good shit that I brought up.
Right, and I'm trying...
the backlogs of Pornhub.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
The
one of my favorites.
robots.
Yeah, we'll bring that up. I'm actually working on a supercut of the best of 2017 for our thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the League of Marthas.
League of Marthas is definitely our... I hope that joke never dies.
Ryan's rat.
I was a little bummed that the Kevin Spacey joke died so quickly.
Yeah,
you were going to replace gay with Kevin Spacey for, ever, and then it, lasted a day.
It did.
I just, forgot.
Yeah. Because people were sexually assaulting people. Kevin Spacey was just, the first, and then, everyone started, molesting people.
That's true.
Anyway.
We have, seriously considered about, a sexual harassment minute.
Yeah.
For, every podcast.
I mean...
to, list off the fucking scumbags.
You really, at this point, almost could... Me and John were talking on the way over here how I kind of don't think Louis C.K. did anything wrong, really. That's an unpopular opinion, but...
It's understandable.
He didn't touch anybody but himself, and he asked first. That's my only...
Right, and we can get into that when we talk about the news.
Right, we're on the game. That's...
Right, so we usually, we've started, we've talked about what have we been playing lately, and, who wants to go first?
Me.
Yeah. You usually have the most interesting thing you've been playing because John's I brought my PS4 to work and then that was it.
That happened 16 times.
Wish I could bring my PS4 to work.
I too also.
The only reason that I get away with it is because we don't have a supervisor on night shift. They just give me a list of bullshit things to do.
Walk around at this time?
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
usually it's a bunch of shit I can finish.
So Eli, what you been playing?
Fucking Smite. And then I recently had a friend walk me through how to mod Terraria.
What's Terraria?
You don't know what Terraria is?
It's a platformer. It's 8-bit.
It's like 8-bit Minecraft. It's 2D. Game's fucking...
I haven't played
Look it up on Steam during the Christmas sale. It'll probably cost you all of $2.
It's actually not that bad.
It was actually free on Xbox Live 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Is it as dumb and addictive as Slime Rancher? Because that game is dumb and addictive.
That game was terrible, and I played it for hours.
They're pain in the ass because they're the most common enemy.
Yeah.
And they just jump and bitch slap you for no damage, but it knocks you back.
So it's like Minecraft.
Slime Rancher was so bad, but I played that for
It's so addictive. You just try to make different things. You're just what am I doing?
I just started making mutant slimes to get both fucking...
It's a grindy game too, and you don't realize how grindy it is.
Terraria...
You don't even realize how long I played Dragon Quest VIII just trying to get to max level.
Why?
Think fucking Slime Rancher is a fucking grind.
Have you ever played Neverwinter?
Yes.
Get
Also,
get to max
bullshit
level on that.
grind.
So,
I mean, I feel like with that question, you could just insert any MMO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever played insert MMO here?
Yeah.
Getting to max level's a bitch.
not in RuneScape, because I can just, like, leave my
Yeah,
game and
that's
I'm, like,
true.
at,
Yeah.
like, 100 fishing. I'm like, what?
Although,
I'm still excited for RuneScape
yeah,
Mobile.
I was about to be like, although that comes out in like a month now.
Everybody's like, I don't think it's gonna be good because mobile games are good. I'm like, it's fucking point and click.
Yeah, I was like, it can't
It's
be that much different
it's
from the
literally
regular.
perfect for a mobile setting.
If anything, like my phone's still kind of small because I'm not fucking rich, and
That's
so
why I have
like,
an iPad.
and so yeah, as
That
I say,
and for
like,
porn.
like trying to tell my
I like
person
watching
where
on
to
my phone.
go would be.
I saw a meme like a week ago, and it was like
Cool.
it showed like phone size, and they were getting smaller, and then like first phone with the screen, and it was like mobile porn became available, and all of a sudden the phone started getting fucking bigger
Yeah.
again.
Cause why wouldn't
I
you
don't
make
like
it bigger?
having to hold my phone while I'm beating off.
That's why you got the VR. We know.
Well, yeah, that too. But the iPhone 8 doesn't fit in it, so it's
Oh.
like kind of pointless now.
Well,
That wasn't me.
that was me.
It's all good. But no, like, so you've been playing Terrarium and
Terraria.
Terraria.
You fuck.
And then what have you been playing, Nathan?
Let's see. Fucking pretty recently, I beat Doom and the Fractured Butthole, and other than that, I've really just been playing Overwatch, trying to get these winter skins because I'm lame.
How did you like the Fractured Butthole? Like, I thought it was fun, but I didn't like it as much as Stick of Truth.
That's what everybody
I
says.
hold them almost like on the same level. There were things about the Fractured Butthole that I liked more than the Stick of Truth. And then there were things that I didn't like as much. Like, I really enjoyed that your costume didn't have any stat effects on them, so you could just consistently change how you look throughout the game, like
Right.
whenever you want to change
Yeah,
your
that
colors.
was one of the things I didn't like about Stick of Truth.
Right. I
You
mean,
look
'cause-
really gay, but you have good stats.
Right, I was like, I was in the fucking crab
I was
people
using-
suit like the whole game after I got it because it had like the
was,
best
the
stats.
best.
I was in a fairy costume for a while.
Right? But but past that, like, I enjoyed how they free up, like, you could by fucking 75% of the way through the game, you just get all the classes and you just sort of pick and choose what moves you want. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy, John didn't seem to like it, I enjoyed the grid that gave you some more directional planning with it. I did like that. But
I did too.
It just wasn't my favorite thing.
Right, and I also enjoyed the couple of battles where you were time limited. They didn't include it until you kind of knew what you were doing with the characters you played.
Right.
But I liked it. I liked that they made some of it time sensitive to where if you took too long choosing what you did with your characters,
Like the
you
lava
just
would
got
fall.
less. Yeah, the lava fell, or the fucking fat stripper would.
Yeah, come and get
Come
you.
on, yeah.
I dig that. Yeah, you realize like I don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck is
no.
going on.
Sounds
Yeah.
like South Park, but
But
Yeah.
no, like my one thing that I enjoyed a lot about that game is the tactics. Like, and just because I probably liked tactics a lot. So like when I played that game, it felt so much like Final Fantasy Tactics that it like, because you had to like move your characters this right way, and I liked how a lot of the characters like knew some characters were like legit. Their attacks really sucked, but they were really good with support, and some characters were full on attack. Like, I was a support character, and all of my other characters were attack. That's because I like Scott Malkison a lot, and Scott Malkison's fucking all this amazing.
I actually did 2 and
Diabetes
2.
rage, so
I did 2 and 2. I was support mostly, but I had a couple attacks, and then I also used Kyle for the extra
yeah.
buff, and then I think I had either Craig, Scott Malkison. I thought Mysterio, Kenny, he was probably the most OP player in that game.
He was, because he could die and come back to life.
And then he either freezes them, confuses them, or shocks them. Like, he
Right.
doesn't do any, like, physical damage, but he does status effects.
Yeah, and status effects can make or break.
Oh, absolutely. And, but the things that I didn't like as much were, I wish they would have brought back a better form of calling in help. Like, I really liked how they did it in Stick of Truth, like, with fucking Mr. Hanky, and you fucking just summon, like, a fucking shitstorm, like, literal shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really...
get a lot of this. I only got one of the summons that I really used was Moses, because that was the, like, easiest summon to make in your crafting, because it was a macaroni painting, and, like...
I liked that, and they gave you, like, fucking 7 of the Jimbo ones, and then, like, the fucking Classy with an I with the dick hanging off of the L, fucking the shit out of the ASS.
yeah.
She just come over and run everybody over. But, like, I preferred the way that you brought in superpower help in the last game, Stick of Truth.
But I think go on.
Oh, and the other thing that I really preferred is in Stick of Truth, you had a lot more areas to explore, and in the Fractured Butthole, you're really kind of just going around South Park throughout the entire game.
Right. I like the mutant sixth grader part, and I like the plot twist that you're like this like popular Instagram. Like I don't know, like things I enjoyed about it.
That was the same plot twist in Stick of Truth,
Stick of Truth, yeah.
It was your same thing.
But I like the way like you could choose between which parent you kill, and it's like it was a fucked up thing. Like and. All in all, like I give it like I gotta beat the game. I'll give it an 8 because like I said I thought it was really fun. I thought it was super enjoyable. But the most part of it is that like I like the Stick of Truth a lot more in like the story and how it actually worked out.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it all the way through, and
there was also too much water for me, so that's why I give it an 8.
Too much water.
It's an IGN joke.
Did you beat it?
Fractured Butthole?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Oh.
But that's because I'm, like, constantly playing like, a billion other things.
You do fracture your butthole in the game.
Yeah. I'm way over-leveled, though.
You just beat the shit out of things, don't you?
Well, like, every time that I find something to do, I immediately go do it. And I have that problem with, like, all RPGs. It's the same way when I play through Skyrim. It's like, this guy's like, oh my gosh, my fucking...
Cattle's gone.
My mom is sick, and I need 4 Nern roots
to
heal her. And I'll be like, all right, I need to pause everything.
See, I'm the opposite.
Do these side quests.
I fill that fucking book up, and then later I go back, and I'm just like, that seems like it's just a pain in the ass. I don't want to find 4 Nern roots.
I have 100% completion in Stick of Truth. There are actually only 5 achievements I don't have for it right now.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah. I played the shit out of it.
That's hardcore. So what have you been playing, John?
Playing through Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which is like the expansion pass for the expansion pack for like the first Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got it, and it was on sale recently, so I bought it, and now I'm playing it. Also been playing a lot of Call of Duty World War II because I like that a lot.
Right.
I can't help it, man. I like this one, and I don't know why. Like,
you're a terrible
there's
person.
literally not really that much that's different about it.
But it's not a real hardcore military sim, John.
But there's no jetpacks, so I'm like, yeah, I can get into this.
I feel like Battlefield 1 was better.
See, he gets it.
It probably. It's just I don't.
But it doesn't have zombies. But I have like 8 different versions of zombies already. So
I mean, that's what I've been playing the most of is zombies, and I like just going online and playing with randos. So I can't really play the old zombies, because it's always, like, really bad kids that are still playing those.
You know what I kind of miss, and I think it got a bad rap, was Aliens, like, in Ghosts.
Really?
I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
I liked the idea, but I think I only, like, played it once, so that probably doesn't help.
Just fucking terrible.
Man. Sorry.
But I'm also replaying through Chrono Trigger, and then I'm also playing Fire Emblem Echoes.
How do you like that?
I've had it for a really long time, and I just haven't played it. And I like it quite a bit because it goes back to like a lot of what the older Fire Emblems did. Like, it's a lot harder, and there's like permadeath for your characters, shit like that.
Right on.
And I think this is probably like
That's a good beer.
one of my favorite designed Fire Emblems since like the GBA ones, because a lot of the characters are like really fan servicey, and that just kind of like sometimes puts me off to more
Got like them
serious
big
games.
titties.
Yeah, exactly. Or they'll like. There's a huge problem with it in the Fire Emblem Heroes game for mobile. Like, one of the new armored units is a character Tharja. Like, it's like holiday themed. She's literally like an armored unit, but she's wearing like a Christmas bikini. And I'm like, yeah, she's pretty armored, alright. Like, she's basically fucking naked. I don't know. I don't mind fan service most of the time, except for in like television, then it just gets annoying. But it's like,
That's what I hated
sometimes.
about it so much.
What?
That's what I hated about Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was also like, none of that show had any point to it at all.
No plot,
Yeah.
The premise was okay.
I guess.
Yeah, it started out pretty strong.
Yeah, I got bored after.
I
The
think it
first
was-
episode started out strong.
No, like, I think the first, like, arc kind of starts out okay. It's like when they, like, adopt the program kid. That's when it's, like,
That's when I
fucking
dropped
retarded.
that show fucking
Yeah.
hard. I was not having it.
Yeah.
I
It's like they
unfortunately
haven't done
continued to
anything
watch
for
it.
like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm fucking out.
And then, like, she dies, but then he, like, downloads her life into the rest of the fucking game. And I'm like, if he's so fucking savvy in this bullshit, why can't he just hack the game to free everybody?
You know, we can't know because plot armor.
Yeah, true, whatever.
I actually got to replay the Switch at our friend Lewis's house. His house is, first of all, like, he's married to a doctor and doesn't have a job, so, like, he plays
What?
video games. Well, yeah, he plays video games all the time. He has every console, and we were playing Chrono Trigger, where he wants to hang out and play Chrono
I
Trigger
hate how
with
you
me.
say console.
Console?
Council.
Console.
He has
That's
every
just a
counsel.
fucking lawyer's
He has every
base.
counsel.
he does nothing but goes to therapy.
But I was
he has
playing,
every counselor.
He has all the school.
I was
counselors.
playing Ultra Street Fighter 2 Arcade Edition on his Switch, and that game was really fun. But I also got to play the demo for Octopath Travelers on the Switch. That game is interesting. I know we saw that before. It's that 8-bit game where, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Choose your path.
Choose your path. I don't like the two characters they gave you was the gruff soldier.
Well, it's just the demo too.
Yeah.
So.
No, what I mean is that, like, I didn't like the dancer story very much as I like the gruff soldiers.
Yeah.
But I think it's because, like, the dancers is more like, let me... Her gameplay is more like seduction and, like...
Well, I mean, she's a dancer.
Yeah.
I was like,
And, like, where the dude is just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm like, alright, I can get with this guy. I'm gonna play with the dude who beats the shit out of dude.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that's jarring to me is that, like, some of the sprites are, like, the fighter sprites. Like, the same kind of fighting sprite you are. And then some of the other human character sprites are just, like, the standstill Final Fantasy style.
Mm-hmm.
Where the dude is, like, 2 times bigger than you, but he's, like, a normal human during the cutscene. So, I mean, that's the thing that's jarring to me. So if you're going to make all your enemies look like that big jarring behemoth, and then leave you as the fighting sprite, or make them all fighting sprites. I think that's my only thing. I think it's fun. Plus, I've also been playing Spore, and I actually made penis monsters like we were talking about the last time we were talking about Spore.
There's nothing
Yeah.
else to do in Spore anyways. So.
yeah, that's the same. That's all there is.
No, I think there's a lot of other things to do in
it's
Spore.
just-
Okay, you're right.
There's nothing interesting in Spore other than penis monsters.
Okay, you're right. You're right. There are a lot of penis monsters. And if Zach was here, I know what Zach's answer is. WWE TK17. So we know what Zach's been playing.
I mean, to be fair, the character creation's pretty
And
good.
It is.
Gil's been playing something Kirby, something.
Something Pokemon, something
Pokemon,
Nintendo.
Kirby, something Nintendo made.
Something Nintendo made. So now we're going into the trailers, and you missed 2 of them, but they're not 3 of them, but they're not as interesting, I don't think, to you. So Ghost Recon Predator, Ghost Recon Wildlands has a Predator like DLC pack now.
This looks lit as fuck.
You
Like,
get
I'm hardcore into this. Like, this kind of
Predator,
makes me...
like AVP Predator?
Yes.
Or dope.
No,
It
like the
really-
Predator with the band. You get like a white band that says free candy.
You get to play Ghost Recon
Even better.
Wildlands and you get to hunt down child molesters. I'd probably actually
Oh,
buy that.
I assumed you were a child molester. You just hunted down children.
I mean,
Right.
that
In the
works,
helicopter. Our mission today is to track down this child molester. He's in an ice cream truck. Like, it's just gonna be easy.
Yeah, that's-
kind of
Just
stands
to
out.
to
There
catch a
wouldn't be,
Predator
like-
DLC.
There wouldn't be like any game to
This
it.
van has music playing. You can hear
There
it
would
from
be.
3 blocks away.
There'd be a game to it.
I mean, yeah, but it wouldn't be that fun.
For you,
They
it
just,
would
like,
be if
they-
you get to murder child
They
molesters.
just
You
have
cannot
to
tell
put
me
in
you
some,
wouldn't
like,
have like
baller
enjoyment.
It's
executions.
not like actually like
Starring Sam Hansen.
I don't know. This makes me think it's like Evolve, but like just a regular sized predator facing off against fucking a bunch of dudes.
Masculine, hyper masculine dudes with
Sexist.
camo.
Yeah, that well they all are dudes. They were literally all dudes in the trailer.
I just like calling you sexist every time you say a bunch
The,
of dudes.
the predator's a girl, okay?
Okay.
Could be.
Maybe.
Pretty sure there's girl predators.
I mean, maybe they might be like asexual.
Yeah, they'd be
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
We're talking about the physiology.
Anyways,
right now. I think this looks interesting enough because you also get the fucking wrist blade thing. You get a gut
Yeah.
people.
yeah, you get like predator weapons even when you're a human.
There's an Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo.
No.
You do get a
There
predator
should be.
mask. That looks
That's
pretty
what I
good.
said as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It makes me want to get Ghost Recon Wildlands, so
Right.
Anybody else remember that Arnold Schwarzenegger, like young as shit, just covered in mud, hiding from Predator?
yeah.
Do you guys remember what
Dude,
the
I love
original
that
Predator?
movie.
Do you guys remember what the original Predator looked like? It was fucking weird.
Yeah, it was
Like-
basically just like a buff dude in a fishnet shirt
No,
with a
no.
bunch of dreadlocks.
No. The
Oh, you're not
original.
talking about the movie?
Yeah, the original. John Claude Van Damme was supposed to originally play the Predator, but he had to wear like the original mocap looking shit,
Huh.
and it was like a Velociraptor looking thing, and he's like, I'm not doing this. This is
I mean, that'd
fucking
be
dumb.
kind of cool too.
But like, yeah, that was the original.
But I do
Predator.
kind of like the fishnet,
Full-
so.
Like fucking T-Rex arm predator.
Yeah. Yeah, you like the like hypersexual.
I want him to be like a T-Rex, but like a little bit taller than a regular dude, but have like regular people arms.
I think that's the one
That'd
thing
be
that,
pretty cool.
like, the thing about the Predator movie is that like Arnold Schwarzenegger takes his shirt off. The Predator's like, well, I guess I'll take my armor off. He's got like rave fishnets.
Like that.
Yeah, it was that thing.
That is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's the original Predator. Like, show them. It's like,
I'm glad that they went with the Predator they did.
The
What the
shirtless
fuck?
dude with the fishnet.
No, it's like a full fucking costume, but
No,
it's.
that's fucking lit, dude.
Lizard.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but I prefer the.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what they did go with is cool, but like I kind of want to see that in something now.
Maybe I wouldn't mind seeing it in something. I'll give you that. Whoa, hey. Speaking of John, here you go.
Female predator. Oh, dude,
Disgusting.
I totally saw this. They make life-size alien action figures. They're more like statues. But I really want to buy one and like put it in my window facing my neighbor's house, and then like close the curtain and turn all the lights on.
There are actually like a large number of female predator fucking like
Statues.
statues.
Yeah.
so then we're gonna go into.
Welcome to the internet.
Fucking-
Rule 34, motherfucker. Rule 34.
We're gonna go into a thing where Rule 34 exists is Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, and it's just a cinematic trailer.
It really bothers me how in the cinematic trailer, like when I can't remember her name, but the like schoolgirl ninja.
Sakura.
Yeah, there we go. I haven't
Really?
played any of the recent
Sakura.
Street Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It chose okay.
No, well, she
But-
came before Sakura. Like that Sakura came before pink-haired Sakura.
It's
Okay.
honestly like a really like not that obscure name.
yeah.
No, it's not. It's
But
just
anyways.
it threw me off.
She like jumps over top of the camera and you get like this fucking
Panty shot.
yeah upskirt shot. But they did that thing where they just like shadow it all out. And then literally in gameplay when she's doing kicks, you get all kinds of panty shots flying left and right. I'm like,
They did that with like every female character in Tekken too, so I'm
yeah.
not surprised.
Well, like my thing is like, why not just fucking own it in the cinematic trailer? Be like, "Pachow!"
But you gotta see
Jeez.
Chun-Li's thick thighs, John.
I actually really hate Chun-Li. Like, if there's any sort of fucking pandering that goes on for a game, it's that.
I don't even know who Chun-Li is.
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li is the dude from Pawn Stars.
Well, actually,
Different map.
I work with two dudes with the last name Chun-Li.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, it's weird. So like, no,
I'm pretty
Chun-Li
sure
has
his
like,
like name is like first name Chum, second
She's
name
the girl whose thighs are like as big as anyone else's chest.
and she does like the
Yeah.
spinning star kick, and she has like the buns on her head.
All
I'm just-
she wears
I
is
I
like
think I know
a
who you're talking about. I'm
one
just
piece and a
googling
thong.
it.
She wears leggings and high boots.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay. I actually know exactly who that is. Okay.
Like Chun-Li is thick. Thick.
She is one thick
But
This
no.
fucking fan art, man.
No, that's a real fucking DLC costume.
You're kidding.
No.
That is
Chun-Li's
ridiculous.
nightgown is a DLC costume.
Dude,
So
fan
those-
service up the dick.
Those legs, though.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Those.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like
Dude,
for real.
It's
Yeah.
like she's like a fucking world medal cyclist. Like that's like what she looks like. Like she's been fucking biking for 20
You have
years.
no idea how fucking
Straight.
weird. You have no fucking idea how weird this trailer ended up. It's Zach! Hey!
Wow.
What's up,
Such
Panda?
an odd time for you to show up.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, she literally looks like she has never not been on an elliptical.
No shit. Like just
Like she literally like got shot out into the womb onto a treadmill and then just grew up.
Why are
on
you
it.
judging her body
No,
standards, John?
I'm not.
You
She's
That's
sexist
does
unrealistic.
legit everywhere she goes.
I'm judging it because it's unrealistic.
What did I just walk into?
Nobody actually looks like that.
Women can't have
Okay.
thick thighs like that.
Let me just explain
John?
what we were talking about. Street Fighter's Chun-Li, and I pulled up that picture. Look at those fucking legs, though,
God.
right?
She's fucking thick.
She's one thick bitch.
Everybody go look it up right now.
I showed them all. That fucking front leg muscle, dude, is like bigger than my arm.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I flex, and then she just like is like, hold on. I'm like,
It's like
girl.
my entire body in someone's leg.
Are you kidding? It looks like it could be my body.
No, like, and then like, my thing about Street Fighter is
There is
just
way
that
too
it,
much
like,
fan art of this.
Yeah.
Type
been
it in
around
for
for a long
type
time.
it in for Rule 34.
I don't want to.
Yeah, like,
We already know what's gonna happen.
She's
like,
probably great fighting some dude's neck or
then
something.
we kind of like really like for me, some of these characters are so hyper unrealistic. Like the dude with tires on his
Yeah,
fucking bicep.
that guy is like so huge, like
22
abnormally
son.
huge. Yeah, he's like fucking 18 feet tall.
Yeah, that's the kicker. His,
And his-
fucking like shoulder and back
Yeah,
muscles
his like
are just fucking.
his pecs are like the
They-
same size as
they
two
go,
of the
like,
other
above
Street
his
Fighter
head, though.
characters.
I like
Yeah.
how we
His
talk
head.
shit about this, but like we totally accept all of Injustice too.
He would,
I mean, they're like not human.
that man would not be able to like lift his arm up because his muscle would be in the fucking
Yeah.
road.
And as far as I know, no one has that big of a leg in the game.
Well,
so
the one thing we can give Injustice is that those aren't people. Also, in
Batman.
Super.
That's
okay,
true.
well, yeah.
In Street Fighter, these are just supposed
I
to
mean,
be regular
That
martial
man's
artists.
pectoral muscles weigh like 400 pounds each.
Yeah, this guy's chest is like 8 Batmans.
Dances around
I'll give you
like
that.
a fucking ballerina.
See, I don't play a lot of Street Fighter. Who are you talking about?
We don't know his
I don't
name.
even know his name.
Yeah,
Just
I
search
don't
up
remember his
Tire
name
Arm
either.
guy from Street Fighter.
Tire
He's a
Arm
Tire Arm
guy.
You just search that.
Literally, just like
Like,
search up.
he makes Sagat look fucking tiny as shit.
Just search up
Sagat
like
isn't-
Street
you mean
Fighter
Zangief?
5 arcade
I thought
new
that-
characters.
you said that was Sagat.
Sagat is the guy with the like fucking, like the eye patch guy is Sagat, but like have you
Somehow
ever
I
seen
brought up a
Zangief?
bunch of motorcycles.
But, like, no, we haven't even got to like the weird characters like fucking muscular kung fu Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
What the
His
His
name's
name is just G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's OG.
He's Amish AF. He's like the
God.
only thing you get from him is he's like he's in a
The
golden.
reason that his name is G is because all the black people love Abraham Lincoln.
God damn.
Jesus Christ!
Straight up northern gangster, Holmes.
And then
I
like
should stop now.
oh, keep going.
You know,
I like
his name is Abigail.
what?
Is that the tire dude?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe it's a
Seriously?
chick.
No, it's a dude.
Well, I know
No
it's a
way,
dude.
it's a chick. Yeah.
It was like,
I am not even shitting you. His name is Abigail.
I'm looking this up too.
I mean,
Probably why he was huge. He was bullied as a kid.
yeah.
So only
Like-
lift when
like,
you
no
get
shit,
angry.
it's-
now it's really
It
sad.
is Abigail.
Oh my god,
God.
that guy scares me.
His
Now it's
fucking
Abigail.
hands are just like as big as
Yeah.
other people.
Like, and I think another,
How did he
like,
get the tires on there? Like, did he like put the tires on there and then gain more
Grow
muscle?
Shit.
That's how like how
Yeah,
do you?
maybe he took his ginormous hands and put his ginormous fingers in the tire and stretched it around his ginormous
We haven't
arm.
even got to the other 3 DLC characters.
I don't think we
Bane
care
on
about
some
that.
really
I care about them because
bad
Cody from
steroids.
Final Fight is in there, and he's
Yeah,
no longer a
that's true.
prisoner.
I don't know who that is.
And like, so
He
he's
was
now,
the fancy-looking guy that broke through the prison.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's now he took over. Hager's no longer mayor, and now Cody's mayor in Final Fight City.
And
So-
Akuma looks like a lion,
he looks like Leomon. Yeah, Akuma
Yeah.
looks like Leomon.
which is weird.
My boy just meditating and shit. I don't understand how he's able to keep his bruise from his meditation at the end. I'm just like, all right, okay. I
Yeah,
guess.
no Ken though.
No Ken. But do you need Ken if you have Ryu?
I mean, he's kind of like one of the franchise
I
mascots.
mean, yeah, you
now.
need a terrible person in there
Yeah.
to like so that people can beat the shit out of that tire arm guy with Ken.
Yeah. Then we
Yeah.
go to Nino Kun 2.
Nino Kuni.
Nino Kuni 2. Like the reason this trailer came out is because they told there was a thing that it's getting delayed again because they want to make a good game.
Which is understandable.
I never get mad at that.
I'm really weirded
I
out by
don't
this
give a shit
trailer.
about this game.
I didn't know that was a boy. I thought it was a girl. So it's a little cat boy. And
Did cold
Hashtag
water hit
anime.
it?
yeah, what?
Did cold water hit it?
No.
Another random
Oh, it
half
needs warm
reference.
water for.
Yeah, warm water to be a boy.
Yeah.
And then hot cold water to be a girl. But like, I don't know. I'm not gonna get it.
Well, I mean, I'm never really been interested in the franchise, so.
Then we jump into Winter Wonderland trailer, and the story that goes behind this trailer is everyone complained about how Hanzo looked.
I didn't even notice, honestly.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, I wasn't like when I saw him on there. The
Dude
only
with the
reason
bow
that I was like,
in
"Oh, there's
Overwatch?
Hanzo," is because we
Oh,
talked about
okay.
him earlier.
Yeah, and like, you've played it,
Yeah. Yeah,
and how do you find Winter Wonderland to be?
I did actually hear something interesting in that Widowmaker's butt has shrunk. in
Yes.
the model.
No,
Yes.
that was a meme, and it was literally a screenshot
the
taken
angle?
from a single like it wasn't even an angle. It was like one of your emotes, like your pose,
Oh.
and it was like one angle from a pose, and everybody's like freaking out over
Yeah.
it.
It
Is
made
that
me
the,
laugh.
the
though.
meme that I shared?
I don't remember. It was just
I think
something
so.
about
Yeah.
they nerfed her butt or something.
Blizzard,
Yeah.
Blizzard Help Desk is college.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because I was like, Buttgate 2.0.
Yep. But then I looked into the comments, and it was just one like.
All right, which is like that's stupid. Anyways, like anyone who's calling
Almost
like
kind of makes me wish it was real.
I mean,
Like, just
who
some
gives a shit?
drama.
I'm trying to shoot her in the head half the time anyway. I don't give a shit what her ass looks like.
Yeah, I was just
I
like,
mean,
no, but like you've played it, and like how fun do you think it is? Because like I never found Overwatch. I have a frown on my face every time I play Overwatch.
I really enjoy it. I like how
I
it's.
still like Overwatch.
I like it's a combination of like a first-person shooter and a strategy game. It's very like your team composition is very important. You need you need tanks, you need healers, you need DPS characters, and
But
then
does your Reinhardt run away and fight for himself while you need protection?
not if I'm playing competitively and all 6 of us have mics. We coordinate. That's how you win.
Well, see, I've never played with the mic. I've always just played with random.
Oh,
That's
see, no,
probably
that's
why you should stay out of the
Yeah,
competitive
yeah,
because
probably
people
shouldn't
will literally hate you.
yeah. No, if you're in
They'll drive to
competitive, you
your
need a
house and kill
mic.
you.
People get mad. Like, because you need to be able to, like, call-outs are very important. You need to, like, let
No, see,
your
that's very
teammates
understandable.
know.
Yeah, literally, I've only played games with like my friends or randos, and I hate them both because I'm just like, fuck these games.
Oh, yeah, no, like, I mean, I'll play, like, quick play or fucking, like, one of the arcade matches, and I don't bother putting in a headset, and then when I do that, like, yeah, constantly, like, my fucking tank is just running off into the middle and dying, and then I'm
It's like a
left there.
clusterfuck of nothingness. And I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
it's terrible, but, like, when you get people together and you actually, like, work strategically and like fucking
Not
hold choke
6
points
mercies.
and do what you're supposed to do in the game, like play it strategically. It's a lot of fun. I
Okay,
really
see,
enjoy
like
it.
I never thought of it.
I actually, my favorite part about Overwatch is still like the
Me.
random stuff.
Yeah,
No.
just the stupid shit
Like
you
yeah,
can
the
do.
random stuff that people come up with, like a 6v6 mercy fight.
Yeah,
Like that shit's great.
there are some really cool like, and they did bring back searching game modes to
Yeah.
like play with people just making random game modes. They took that away for a while. I'm glad they brought it back.
Yeah.
Then we go into Destia NT Final Fantasy.
Did we even actually talk about the Winter Wonderland part of this?
We
Not
did.
really,
Oh,
kinda.
well,
We talked
okay,
about Winter Hanzo.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess yeah. It's really just a bunch of new costumes.
Yeah,
And
new
then Evolve,
costumes.
you
A
get
couple.
Evolve
They brought.
Winston.
Oh yeah, the snowball game.
They
mode's
brought back
back.
the snowball fight. It's basically one in the chamber with Maze. You
Wait, the snowball fight isn't with people though? Like you can't choose other characters?
No, you're just
in a
May.
maze.
Why the fuck did they like show other people throwing snowballs?
I have
then?
no clue.
Because it's in a maze.
But it's just your May. You get it's basically one in the chamber. You
You're
shoot
gonna
a
be
snowball.
May.
You only get one, and the hit kills.
Yeah.
It's a one-shot kill. And then there are like little snow piles that are all over the place.
That you absorb.
And
for
yeah,
more
you
snow,
suck them up, you get one more snowball. And
That's-
but you
that-
can't stack them. You can only get one at a time.
It's the only time that sucking up a snowball is socially acceptable.
This is true.
You're such a fucking douche.
No felching
Yeah.
around here.
No, but like
For
that's
that
the-
you need a straw.
I think that's the one thing though is that like don't
Take
show
that
that
shit
you
straight.
like everyone can throw snowballs. Like it's like I thought it was just like Overwatch people chucking snowballs at each other.
No.
I really can't
no,
take
it's-
any of this seriously because I just picture a bunch of people throwing semen at each other.
It's just May, but instead of you don't get like the frost shot, the frost beam, or the fucking like icicle shot. It's you just
get
shoot a snowball.
Okay.
And then like you get an ult, but your ultimate isn't the fucking freeze bot anymore for that particular game mode. Your ultimate is like 30 seconds of unlimited snowballs.
Okay.
It's fun. I
And
enjoy
then
it.
did you play the Winston game, the Yeti Hunt?
I did. I only played it twice because it was one of those you win either your first win in it you get a loot box, and I want to fucking try to get some of the Winter Wonderland skins, so I didn't. I just played it for the
It's
loot
like one
box.
winner, one land skin. You
And
want to
it's
get.
interesting. You either actually when you join in you choose kind of like your preference whether you would rather be Winston or May.
Same thing with Evolve, literally.
Or like Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily get your preference because
Well,
there's
yeah,
only
it's the
one
same
Winston
thing
and
with
everybody else is May, and you're just trying to stop Winston from getting all of there's like these little like pods, and they have a giant steak over them, like it's literally like a big ass raw steak, and you're Winston, you're trying to go and collect all of those, and then you go into Winston's regular ultimate, and then you just fucking rage kill all of the Mays while they try to run away.
Aren't gorillas like vegetarian?
No, they're omnivores.
Oh,
I mean,
They have canine teeth. They're omnivores.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
The canine
guess-
teeth are the fucking sharp fangs, man.
I'm not like
I
I don't watch that much shit. about
Gorilla.
gorillas,
yeah, actually,
dude.
I don't really. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
assumed they were mostly like
They're
mostly
omnivores.
fed on
Alright.
vegetation.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the lesson and whatever this shit is.
I guess they eat like most monkeys eat drugs.
And then we go to Dissidia NT Final Fantasy, and
I'm excited.
it looks really fun. Like the only gripe that you have is that they look too young.
Well, they made all the characters look younger than like even the original models.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Except for Noctis.
well, he even looks slightly younger.
Does he really?
It looks like a bunch of children with oversized swords and anime hairdos fighting each other.
Okay.
It's pretty much just anime.
I was gonna
Yeah, I
say.
I
guess.
don't know what
but-
you want. You're
So,
either a child
you're
or an
excited.
90-year-old man.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
true.
in between.
You're excited though for
Yeah.
the gameplay. The gameplay looks
Because-
interesting.
I mean, it
Now I
looks the
wanna go
same as all
play
the other
Overwatch.
Final Fantasy Dissidias, but I like Dissidia, so I'm pretty excited for this.
Then we go into the Walking Dead game, which is just a cinematic trailer. You don't really get much, but from what we hear, what I've read into it is it's kind of just like an open world Walking Dead mixed with like the Division.
Well, this is for sure not a Telltale,
Yeah,
and you can tell because the art style is not the same.
yeah.
The, like
No.
comic book cell shading.
The art style is actually kind of similar. There's a little bit of cell shading in it. It looked like.
Well, yeah, there's obviously going to be a little bit, but
Not like Borderlands esque though.
I like Borderlands.
I actually- So this is kind of off topic, but did any of you guys download and play the Borderlands Telltale that was free this month?
yeah,
I haven't.
I played it like
I
a
haven't,
long
but-
time ago, but yeah. I
How
played
was it? Like, I mean, because the graphics would be relatively the same, I would
Well,
imagine.
like graphic-wise, it's fine, but like
Was the
Story-wise,
story
it's
any
just
good?
story-wise, it's pretty okay.
it's
I thought
interesting.
it was It was different from like the regular Borderlands, and it's way different from any of the other Telltale stuff.
So it doesn't go over like Handsome Jack and Vaults, or like...
No, it's like after Borderlands.
It goes
2.
over
Oh,
Handsome
okay.
Jack, but not Vaults.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
okay.
after the events of Borderlands 2 also.
All right.
I've never been fond of Telltale games, and that Telltale game is kind of.
I mean, that's probably, other than like the Walking Dead ones, that's probably like the only one that I'm really like that I was into enough to actually finish. But like gameplay wise, it's like a solid like 1 out of 10.
It's a Telltale
Obviously,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a game.
I was.
Yeah.
That's why I
It's
wasn't.
literally like a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah, that's why I didn't ask about the game. I just asked if the story was
I mean,
any
if you're
good.
looking for a free, basically easy set of achievements.
I mean, for that I would have to give a shit about my gamer score.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I play the games to enjoy the game. They could totally remove
I just
the
like.
gamer score.
Oh,
like,
I'd be kind of pissed. I just like getting rewards for.
I like
you don't
getting the-
get anything.
I like the achievements, but I don't necessarily
You need to
like
feel
the
good about
score.
yourself.
Speaking of, weren't they going to start giving you like points towards a game for the achievements you got?
PlayStation's
PlayStation.
talking about it with trophies, about potentially giving points towards
They
the
are,
trophies that you
but it
get.
has to be the new games that you get.
But it's like it. You can only use it like in the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, I mean Xbox will
So-
probably never do that. That's just like PSN gives you way better discounts on games than
Yeah.
like Xbox Live doesn't give you any discounts. PSN automatically, like PlayStation Plus automatically gives you discounts. Xbox Live, they're like, fuck you, pay me full price.
Well, they do better now, at least. Like at
They
least
do
there's
do
always like a
deals
list.
every.
Yeah, at least every month there's a like every week actually there's
Yeah.
a list of new games that are on sale through Gold.
I mean, that's why I refuse to pay $60 for a game. I like wait until I see it on deals
Yeah,
with
I'm
Gold,
the
and
same way
it
usually.
usually only takes like a month or two after the game comes out.
Right. Then the Forest, I don't understand this
I
game.
mean, this is basically like Ark.
Yeah, it's just
like
another survival game.
It looked
with
interesting-ish.
zombies and weird Cronenbergian
It
monsters.
literally looked like Half-Life meets Ark to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we go to Knockout League, and goddamn, does this game look fucking bizarre.
Yeah, this one's weird. It's a PlayStation VR game.
I don't know
It's
that
the
it
only
looks
fighting
fun.
game I'd even
It just
play.
looks
I-
interesting.
Bizarre.
I'm just not into VR. Like, the only reason I even want a VR
It's for the
headset
porn.
is...
But you want to fight the octopus with the 8 gloves.
That's true. That's the only thing that I want to do.
But-
And that's just because it reminds me of Octodad.
It's like
But, like, the only real thing I want VR for is so I can play Resident Evil 7 in VR.
But I kind of want to play Skyrim in VR. I'm like the worst kind of person.
Oh, it's terrible, man.
I won't use the controller. I'll just use a regular controller. I just want the immersive like
no,
look
like,
around.
you don't even get to, like, walk around.
What?
It's literally, like, Skyrim VR is, like, totally different from the actual game.
Oh, is it like Skyrim on tracks? Like
Yeah,
on
it's
rails?
like you point somewhere, and then you select to go there, and then you go there, and then you're static there until you select to
yeah,
go somewhere
the
else.
movement is piss poor.
Yeah.
Wait, and that's even if you're using a PS4
I don't think you
controller.
can use
no, you
PS4.
can actually. A buddy of mine, Chris Butler, was playing with PS4 controller with PlayStation VR.
Was he just
Well,
playing the
then I'm not
Skyrim?
sure.
He was probably just playing. You can play games with your VR on. He was probably just playing the Skyrim game
Maybe.
because you like VR
It's
game.
better.
Yeah, right. So like Knockout League just has a bunch of weird shit and it just looks weird and fun.
Yeah, you can, like, fight a pirate and an octopus,
And
and then there's a lady wearing an Iron Maiden suit.
It just looks like you can't play it without the VR paddles, and I
Yeah.
I'm
I feel
not a
like
big
that
fan of VR
mechan-
battles.
and
I'm
just like
not a
you,
fan of VR.
well, just like you were saying, and I think it's the same thing. It's too clunky for a fighting.
Yeah.
Like it's not smooth. It's not seamless. We haven't figured out VR to the point. We haven't figured out paddles or motion sensing to the point, or at least not cost effectively enough to the point where we
Yeah.
can
Like, I
use
mean,
it seamlessly like
stuff
that.
like the
it's
Oculus
still
Rift
gonna
is
have
really
lag
good,
and it's gonna
but-
fuck up.
Even, like, with the Oculus, it's like, there's so much shit that goes wrong most of the time when you're playing that. Like, you'll go to reach for something, and your hand will just fucking glitch out all fucking weird.
And then we go to Adventures of Gunslinger Joe, which is the first DLC for Wolfenstein 2. And the storyline is basically a black NFL player gets
Fucking captured by Nazis and forced to play soccer in Europe.
I mean, anything Wolfenstein I'm down for, so...
And the last game we were talking about is a very interesting game.
I don't remember.
I'll wait for Nathan to get back, but this game really brings out the physics and everything.
Oh, yeah, now
Mount
I
your
remember.
friend Mount your friend in 3D.
No, I'm out the door.
I never played the original Mount Your Friend.
It's fun.
It's a fun party game.
Yeah.
What
define fun party game because I just saw like dicks
It's
flicking
fun to
around.
mount your
What?
friends.
Like it's just like
Wait, what?
it's
You
just like a
literally-
fun like $10 game that you
Yeah.
just play for like a week.
You know how like I Am Bread was?
Yeah.
I hate I Am Bread.
Well, no,
Well,
but that
you're wrong.
this
Rage
one's actually
Fest.
fun.
I like
Bread
I
is
Am Bread.
stupid.
Well, yeah,
You're
but it's
dumb.
also a
You're
rage
dumb.
fest.
You like the prequels.
I do like the prequels.
Well, that makes you dumb.
Did you like the new Star Wars movie?
It was okay.
We all kind of like consensually like.
I upped mine to a 6 the more I thought about it.
What?
Said I gave it a 6 after I thought about it.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, Kian actually gave it the lowest.
Yes, I did.
Maybe I'll wait for it to come out on DVD then.
Yeah, you should have came. It was fun.
No, it wasn't.
I'm
terrible,
sorry I was at
actually.
work.
No, you're fine.
You skipped out.
Yeah.
I should have,
Quit
in all
your job.
honesty.
Yeah.
Well,
Now we're gonna
That's
go
a
into some
conversation
movie
offline.
news, and one of the news that always gets us going is live action anime adaptations.
Oh, we're just going straight into movie.
No, we're getting into the video game news that involves a live action anime
Oh,
adaptation.
okay. Now I know what you're doing.
Detective Pikachu, the movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that The Rock wasn't doing Pikachu, I was a little bit more okay with this.
It will officially be coming out May 2019. What?
Wait, so is Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu? Because that
Yes.
would be terrible.
No, it's Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Ryan Reynolds co-starring Pikachu.
No.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh
See,
my.
you think that's bad? They were talking about doing like The Rock as
That's-
Pikachu.
But
Pikachu gonna lay the smackdown
I
on
feel like I would be much more comfortable with a woman voicing Pikachu than a man.
Well, you should maybe watch the new movie then.
Why?
The new Pokemon movie.
Why are you?
It's not necessarily a woman, I don't think, but
That was a woman who voiced
I
it.
knew it was a woman who voiced it, but
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
saying that I
That's
don't know if Pikachu is necessarily a woman.
Don't
But-
Oh
ju-
man, it
judge
smells like
Pikachu's
fart
gender.
over here.
Yep.
Did you just
No, that's
assume
well.
Pikachu's gender?
Did you just assume the stench of my
I
fart?
mean,
I
every
haven't smelled
Pokemon
it
game
yet.
ever has just
Oh,
assumed
God.
Pokemon's gender, so
Yeah.
I mean,
So, Build-A-Bear-
considering
right.
that they have genders.
Yeah, so Build-A-Bear has teamed
The
up.
genderless ones.
So
Like a
Build-A-Bear
rock.
has teamed up with Super Mario and has a plus Yoshi and Bowser, as well as you can dress your bear like Mario.
Ah, yes, just what I want. More $80 propaganda. Build-A-Bear is a fucking scam.
I'm honestly surprised they're still around.
I mean-
Those things were
Yeah.
dead.
Say,
I'm
Without
sure it's fun
expensive
for
they are.
kids to go to the one time the parents are willing to fork over $100 for a fucking stuffed animal.
It
but-
costs
Well,
$100 for a
maybe
It's
Build-A-Bear.
expensive, dude.
Well, maybe
Really?
during
Like I had one when
Christmas.
I was a kid, so I never knew how much it was.
I remember, like,
Cardboard.
I remember somebody. Now who's here?
Hey neighbor.
Oh, it's Jay. I
Neighbor.
remember somebody like told me that we should go there because I had never been there before, and they're like, "You should do it just once or whatever." And I'm like, "Okay." And I remember getting like all of the bottom dollar stuff, and it still cost me like $54.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
It was kind of cool though because I got like a Jedi shark. I have no idea what happened to it though.
Okay.
It was like $54, like totally fucking wasted.
Yeah, because like I saw Carter got like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That
Not
was
like,
like
I can't say I haven't wasted $50.
I was gonna
before
say
that.
like I was gonna go get a plush Eevee and then found out it's like $30 to get one. I'm like, nope, no thanks.
And that's just one of the stuffed ones that like doesn't come with any of the like customizable clothing things.
Yeah, I would never do that part. That part sounds obnoxious. Why
I
does my
would
bear
do
need
shit.
clothes? That's weird.
I think Brady did the same thing last weekend when we went to Sioux City.
What?
Bought an expensive like plushie or something.
Oh, yeah, but he always buying plushies.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
at this
Something's gotta
point, you
cuddle
can
with him
almost
at night.
consider it a tax write-off.
They're not in his bed. He's just hanging them up on his
You
shelf.
say that now.
I mean,
They're
as
not
far
in
as
his
I-
bed when you're there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Don't mess around. Do you see that? Do you see he has the
God
orgasm
damn
face
it.
Pikachu? Do you know what he probably does?
Wait, what?
The Pikachu that's laughing, but I always say it looks like it has an orgasm face.
Oh.
I mean, you could say that anybody laughing has an orgasm. I suppose. Mostly because my sex life is a joke. Mark that one up in best of 2017.
You got it in just in time.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That whole part's gonna go into
As it does every year, Google has now published the year in search charts revealing the top search questions of 2017.
Video games made it into one of the mainline categories, consumer tech, and the name Nintendo Switch outspaced Xbox One in the most searched game console this year.
Quick question on that.
How many of those top searches were pornography?
All of them.
Yeah, probably.
Splatoon.
Probably like the first 18 are porn, and then there's the Switch. And...
See, what happened was Family Guy did that one episode, and then Asa Akira became like #1 Google search.
Yeah, I forgot that. You were wondering who that porn star was.
Who was that? I
Yeah.
think you know who that was.
Was that Asa Akira?
Oh, that makes me sad because of Augustine.
No.
Oh
God
god,
damn it.
no,
No,
we're
we're
not
not
starting
into
this
this.
again.
I'm interested.
No, we'll talk
I
about
mean, I
Mike.
feel like it's disrespectful to talk about it.
Okay.
Off mic.
Warner Brothers recently created a new label specifically designed to publish Harry Potter games. Off the back of that announcement last month and the reveal of a new Pokemon Go-like game titled Harry Potter's Wizard Unite, a company has now unveiled another new game in the Potterverse called Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. The new title is a narrative RPG set in the famous school for witchcraft and wizardry, and it's coming to mobiles in 2018.
Are either of these
How
made
about
by
that game go
Niantic?
fucks itself?
I don't understand what this Harry Potter Go shit is. Do you just like walk around catching Harry Potter kids?
Yeah, I don't see that one. I don't know about, but this one is apparently like you're a Hogwarts student
I
and you
got
do
a
like
Ron Weasley.
Just literally like catch a kid in a ball.
Piss poor, but you know.
Well, let's be honest here. Everybody would love to catch Emma Watson.
I mean,
I'd like to catch
Not wrong.
something from Emma Watson.
A child.
I was
Oh my
gonna say
God.
like anything sexually transmitted.
Oh my
I'm sure.
God.
A child.
Well, I mean,
my
they
God.
kind of.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually
There's
good.
only one thing worse than a rapist. A child.
Is it? But is the company that is making this Niantic, or is it?
No, Niantic is making the Pokemon Go-esque game. The company that's making this is Disney's new independent, not Disney's, Warner Brothers' new independent mobile game thingy.
Oh wait. So, but Niantic is making a Harry Potter
Pokemon Go style.
Go-ish. That. I mean, I feel like it's going to be terrible, but that's
Well, I mean,
just
they
my
already have
opinion.
server issues with Pokemon Go still sometimes.
I still remember when Pokemon Go first came out and the server was just crashing continuously, and there was like a fucking hacker group trying to take claim for it, saying it was a DDoS attack. Which
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
technically
anonymous.
it was a DDoS attack, but it wasn't intentionally. It was just too many
People
people
trying to
connecting
play
to the fucking server.
Well, that's everybody gives them so much shit for that. But when Niantic started Pokemon Go, there was like 9 people working for the whole company. They literally like had this job to make this game.
But it was so hyped. They should have had
Yeah.
at least a little bit of
You
backing
would've-
to make a better
Yeah,
server.
you would have thought that like the Pokemon company would have been like, well, I mean, we should probably like throw at least a little bit of money into this.
Don't tell me you can battle and trade your Pokemon in your fucking
And
trailer.
it's still not available like 2
And
years
it's
later.
still not available.
And well, I mean, Nintendo wanted nothing to do with Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually not even sure how Niantic got away with using Pokemon without
Mostly
like.
because Game Freak owns most of the rights to Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the reasons why like Pokemon YouTubers don't get their stuff like taken down by Nintendo.
That
Oh
makes
no,
sense.
but when you play
It's
Smash
like-
Bros, you get a
Yeah.
copyright infringement.
Well, that's because Nintendo owns the majority of all that.
And
shit.
they threaten to take your videos down.
I mean, Smash Bros has like fucking 3 Pokemon in it, so. I don't
I'm
give
not
a shit.
making that point. I still like getting that email saying Nintendo asked me to send a cease and desist for my Smash Bros video. It was
ridiculous.
It's because the music volume was too high.
It was dope though. I was like, oh, Nintendo recognizes me as a threat. Cool.
Just screenshot it and post it.
Hashtag outlaw. No, with this in
I
mind,
hope
we're
this
talking
one's
about mobile
good.
games and we're talking about Pokemon Go. Nintendo wants to put more money in mobile games, but it's looking like the revenue that they expected for their last few mobile games hasn't reached what they wanted with Animal Crossing, with Mario Run, but they still want to invest money in mobile games. So my question is, what do you think Nintendo can do to make a better mobile game, I guess?
Make better mobile games. I think the big issue with most of them is that
Paywall?
is what?
Paywalls?
Well, no, not necessarily. It's just that like a lot of the games really lose traction because there isn't a whole lot to them. Like Fire Emblem Heroes is still going really strong because the people who work on that like continuously update it like all the time.
Are we talking mobile, like on the Switch mobile,
Like
or like
phone
mobile,
games.
like on my phone mobile?
Like phone games.
Okay, and like, I feel like every phone game, it's fun for a few hours or even a few days, and then it hits a point where doing anything you either have to pay money or wait fucking 2 days to do anything, and then I just lose interest.
Hashtag Clash of Clans. Update my cannons to level 11 is like 8 days. Yeah.
What's the point?
I mean, I can update them and then like leave the game alone for 8 days and then go back and play later.
By the time that happens, I forget
Yeah,
about
I know,
the game
the same thing happens. I
altogether.
haven't opened Clash of Clans for like over a year and a half.
You still have it on your phone, though.
Yeah.
Cannons are still upgrading.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm still, like, I started playing South Park Phone Destroyer, and like I'm still playing that after like 2 months, or a month and a half, or however long it's been out.
I kind of just recently quit, but I was actually playing Animation Throwdown for quite a while.
That's a really popular one too.
It was fun for a long time.
I don't know. I don't think they can make any. Nintendo, I don't
This is
know.
terrible, by the way.
I don't think they should do. I don't think they should do mobile games. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine with them doing mobile games. What I don't want is for them to switch to only mobile.
I would like to see them do something, fun, maybe unique-ish. I mean, it's really, everybody asks for something unique, but like, it's 2018. How many ideas can we really come up with? They're going to be semi-recycled at any
I
point.
think one of the big problems is that like Super Mario Run had a lot of potential to be like huge. Like you just put Super Mario on a phone. Like that's not even that hard. But they made it like really bare bones, really easy. I mean, it's basically like impossible to fail type of game, and it just gets boring really fast.
We have Super Mario Run and Sonic Jump. What
Yeah.
does this world come to?
They're pretty much the same thing.
But they're
Well,
a little
the
bit
Sonic-
backwards.
One of the Sonic ones is like just Temple Run with Sonic characters, basically.
Temple
Except-
Run was kind of fun for a minute.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like it's just there's not enough there to keep you into it.
But I mean, our phones don't have a whole lot of space either. Like
I mean, mine does.
Yeah, mine does too.
I got like 128 gigs.
I have a
Upgrade.
ridiculous.
Fuck, yo,
I have
I
a
got like
ridiculously.
64.
Yeah, I was like, I have a ridiculously huge SIM
Same.
card on mine, so.
Oh, I mean, I've only got a 32 gig SIM card on
yeah,
mine. I
I've
could
got
put
like
a bigger one.
120 gigs. So, yeah, I'm weird.
I mean, I could buy that and put it in, but it's a fucking Samsung S7, so it's like a bitch to put a new SIM card in.
Right.
I gotta like get the little tool and fucking poke it.
And hope that it doesn't explode in the meantime.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't exploded yet.
I mean, I guess it's not the Note 7.
Right, and so we talked about this last week about Destiny 2 being kind of a dick about like not having the complete game.
Well, I mean, it's just another old buy a bunch of expansion packs to get the
Later, Jay.
the rest
Bye,
of the
Jay.
experience.
Bye, Jay.
And then it sucks, but it's like at least at the same time, Destiny 2 feels kind of like a full game. It's still pretty short, but it definitely isn't like Destiny 1 was, where it's just like, oh hey, here's a couple missions where you just go here and shoot this, and then you can buy the expansion pass for the next expansion pack, and that'll give you like, some more missions to shoot some stuff and maybe some explanation of what the story is.
Might be a little too dark for you.
But it's like $30 a pass.
I'll take it. But then we go into a new
Fine.
a new based on a
He
sequel
wants
for this one.
Destiny.
Rambling.
Yeah. So then we go into a new game based on Cartoon Network's popular animated series Adventure Time is coming to the PC next year. Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchidorod.
Always gotta have a bottle opener.
So
How do you do that with a
What-
lighter?
The same way that you do with your teeth.
yeah, you just clip on and just go.
I don't actually do it.
Yeah.
But,
That's
like,
Where the fuck does it-
You literally you just hook it
Yeah.
under and
Yeah.
then you use.
So with
leverage.
that in mind, like it's an open world
I don't know
game.
that.
You get to choose your captain between Jake, Finn, or Bevo, and then you get everyone from the Adventure Time land to join your crew. The one game thing I want to talk about though, I don't know if you guys have heard of Crytek and the Star Citizen game.
Yeah. They're
Nope.
like getting sued for using the Crytek engine or something like that.
Yes, for a different game.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think about that?
I mean, isn't the story like that they were supposed to develop the game develop a game specifically for them with that engine?
Yeah, the Star Citizen game.
And
is
they
supposed-
used the engine for something else instead.
So
Yes.
yeah.
So, like, I can totally understand why Crytek would be like, dude,
Right.
what the fuck?
Also,
Right.
fuck them. That's like the most funded game of all time.
Yeah.
And they still haven't done anything.
Yeah, no, they haven't done anything
So-
with it.
I
Yeah.
mean, at the same time, like, I feel like game engines should just be like made in like open source, but that's just me, like sort of like the Unreal Engine is.
I guess.
Well,
Yes and no.
in my opinion, it's kind of like it takes a lot of like work and time to like create something like that. So I can understand why the person who created it would at least be like, I want some sort of monetary feedback.
I mean,
and
yeah, I
some
feel like
sort
there
of,
should be
like-
royalties involved. Absolutely, like
Yeah.
the person that created the engine should definitely get paid for every time that engine is used in
Yeah.
any game whatsoever.
Well, that's kind of the thing, is like this was a deal for them to make a game with the engine for Crytek, and they ended up using it for something completely different.
And then they
Right.
did they never make the original game?
No, they
No,
still
they
haven't
did
made.
not.
It's still in development.
Oh,
It's
wow.
been
No, okay, that's
developing
fucked.
for
No, that's
fucking
totally
forever.
fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, I misunderstood the
Yeah. No. No. Yeah.
pre-
No.
premise.
So
here.
I can totally understand the lawsuit.
Do you think they're gonna win?
More than likely.
Okay, because
Like,
that
they,
game.
they made a deal to make that game,
Yes, if
and
it's-
it's been in development literally forever.
Yeah,
if
Star
it's
Citizen
written-
has like
forever.
Yeah, it's,
$4 to $5 million invested in this
it's
fucking.
and it's I don't how many years has it been now since
It's like 4 or 5.
yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
think I was in middle school when it started.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. So we only have
Is
one.
it a good game engine though?
I don't know.
Crytek
The
is
game looks really pretty, but there's not a
Crytek.
whole lot.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about graphics. You
Do
should
you
know this about me. I
remember-
don't care about
do you
graphics at
remember
all. It's
when
all about
Crysis-
gameplay,
But that's
and
that's
physics are important.
Do you remember
Graphics,
when Crysis
no,
came
physics,
out?
yes.
You remember when the first Crysis
Yeah,
came out?
yeah.
And nobody could play it because it was like too good for people's computers. Like, you had to have like a $4,000 fucking
That's-
gaming PC just to play it.
Which is funny because back then it was a $4,000 gaming PC you can buy for like $500 on Newegg.
Yeah, probably.
That's what Crytek is.
But that's what that Crytek engine is.
Okay.
And so yeah, I mean it's like, but because this game's been in development for so long, it's slightly on the outdaterish side.
it's not even a development hell kind of thing, though. They just
They just haven't done it.
Yeah, the dude just always says he's gonna do it, but he hasn't done anything. It's kind of like how Mighty Number 9 worked for me. Like, they would keep being like, "Oh, look how awesome it's gonna be!
Yeah.
Look how awesome it's gonna be!" And then you get a very shit game.
I was actually really worried that Fractured But Whole was never going to come out.
For a long time, it was the Stick of Truth that everyone was worried about because Activision got bought out.
Well, Stick of Truth didn't have too much for delays and stuff.
Right.
There was like a couple, but they were only like a couple months.
Right.
Ubisoft is admittedly really good about that. They're one of the few game companies that I can stand and say that they are willing to push back a release date to finish and polish off.
Now
the game.
they are.
Unless
Now they
it's
are.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying, they weren't for a while.
Because they did with Stick of Truth or Fractured But Whole was pushed back like a year.
Yeah.
Like they fucking made sure they had, and they released a good finished game that didn't have bugs. There was no need for them to go into patches.
Yeah,
And
no.
Assassin's Creed Origins was pretty mostly glitch free.
Isn't that the one where you can pet cats?
Yeah.
It's like the only thing I know
It's
about the
pretty
game.
You can do that in Black
Is that the one
Flag
where you
too.
can ride a unicorn?
Uh,
What?
Probably.
Chocobo
You can ride a camel,
and a Chocobo.
Really? I'm
Horse,
pretty sure
which
you
is
can ride a
pretty cool.
unicorn in that.
ride them humps.
So
I'll
that's
show you
what our-
after.
Lovely
Yeah,
lady
I'll show you
lumps.
Camel lumps.
So the only question we
Check it
had
out.
today was, what do we think about the dispute and debate between Fortnite and PUBG? And I have no stick in this fight. So
PUBG
I mean,
actually tried to sue Epic Games.
Did
in a
they?
Similar,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a while
Because
ago.
of the whole
Yeah.
battle royale thing.
Okay.
I
mean,
guess-
it's not
Yeah,
really
they were just
new
like, they
news.
also have a game that uses 100 people and throws them onto an island.
I guess when I think about it, I'm like, that's kind of like lame of them. But when you really look at the games, like they really didn't other than like putting it in Fortnite's game, there really isn't a whole lot of innovation to it. Like they literally took the entire Battle Royale game mode from PUBG and just put it in Fortnite.
Yeah, but PUBG took
They
that
took
from
the
other games.
the
That's
general
true.
idea.
And that's why I go back to like, okay, it's not really that big
That'd
a
be
deal.
like
My
if
thing-
Dota sued people for using a 3-lane map. in
Yeah,
it, but
I agree, but
it'd
it's
be
like
fucking dumb.
my thing is
You
is
have
that like
characters that are different from each other. Get the fuck out of here.
my thing is that
What?
Fortnite literally released just the Battle Royale pack for free. They were
Okay, yeah, I get you
literally
on
like
that.
trying to drown out
Yeah.
PUBG by doing that.
Yeah.
They also released on console first.
Yeah,
But I mean,
but
unfortunately, I think they did it better.
But yeah, and I also have a lot of gripe with PUBG because it's still not a fully released game.
Well, and
Like,
like
it's still an early access thing,
with-
and it's something that you pay basically full price for.
with Fortnite, like what I like is like, I mean, I actually haven't played PUBG, but just from what I've heard, is their map is bigger. I think they actually have more people that you can throw into the map, and then actually they just added 50v50 fucking team matches.
In Fortnite,
Yeah.
the map's smaller because there's no vehicles. So like it seems bigger because you have to run around everywhere,
Oh, okay.
but there's no vehicles. So
I
it's actually smaller.
the way I was told that the map was bigger, but I could be totally wrong.
Well, I mean, I don't mind
I'm
that
willing
too
to
much at
accept
all. A lot of some of the problems with PUBG come from people just
Run forever.
yeah, and if you do get into a vehicle, a lot of times you just get fucking LMG'd down.
I've seen some people do some cool shit jumping off of vehicles in PUBG.
Yeah.
I watched a video of someone they were on a motorcycle. They like went off a jump, jumped off the motorcycle, shotgunned a dude, fucking just landed. Like it was pretty impressive.
No, it's very understandable. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think like I said, I don't really like PUBG's developer. I think he's kind of schmarmy, but
Yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
kind of definitely a douche.
Real douchebag.
he's a real douche.
Boy, have I
But you
been
had to
pushing
say
that
schmarmy.
for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, Fortnite. That's where I stand on that.
you like
Yeah.
Fortnite a lot better.
I guess,
Yeah, I do.
like, on the idea that, like, the PUBG developer sued the Fortnite guy, like, I don't think it's justified.
It didn't
I think
go
it's fucked
anywhere.
up.
Yeah,
like,
it
it's
didn't
like-
go anywhere anyways,
Yeah.
so...
Right, and then, like I said,
I think the only thing that I think is fucked up is that, like, they, like, purposely tried to drown out PUBG's player base by offering
I
Fortnite
guess,
for free.
like, yeah, I mean,
Which,
Well, but
if that's what you
That's
want to
just good
do,
marketing.
that's how a competitive market works. I just think it's kind of scumbaggy.
they only tried to do it though for console gamers, and I say that because PUBG was huge on PC, and Fortnite never hit
Yeah.
PC. Fortnite was
Yeah,
just
that's
console,
true.
so all they did was they tried to take that premise and get all of the people on Xbox, and I don't even know if it was on PlayStation. They just tried to get all the people
Yeah.
I
on.
believe so,
it
yeah.
is also on
They
PlayStation.
tried to get all the console gamers to be like, hey, and they didn't like ever say it outright, but basically they were like, hey, this is like PUBG for the console, and it's out early.
Fortnite is gonna be like, there's gonna be a lot of people on PS4 playing Fortnite because they can't get PUBG. So,
And
That's-
I mean, and it's a good game.
like, I mean, I don't like hiding in bushes, but like, go more power
That
to
just
you.
makes me mad
Hey,
because
man.
you can't see people in the fucking
Nothing
bushes.
wrong with a good old 70s bush hiding.
PUBG or Fortnite?
Fortnite.
In Fortnite, there's actually a consumable now that like makes you a bush. Like,
What?
puts one around you.
Really?
If you get hit once, it goes off.
Well,
Yeah, because I've just like sat next to
Any
like
game-
on the ground and watch people come up, and then you shotgun blast them, and they die. Just keep
Any
doing
game
it.
that makes me want to just shoot every fucking bush.
I always hide. I mean, that was fucking broken, especially early
Yeah.
on, and apparently even more so now. But like literally, you could hide and with 100% concealment inside a bush. You just run up to a bush, crouch, and wait.
That's kind
Wait, the bush item is a legendary item at least.
All right,
Yeah.
And
that's
if you're moving at all, it makes you the most shootable fucking target.
Oh yeah, a
Moving
moving bush.
Especially right now because there's Christmas lights on all the bushes. So you're just a giant glowing target.
I gotta watch some gameplay of Fortnite then.
So that's been our video
I
game
mean, you
podcast.
can literally just play it. It's free.
Yeah.
You can just download.
Thank you for listening, guys. Have a good night.
Alright, then when I get an Xbox.